Hi, welcome to this lesson of learning Microsoft Word with Great Tech Writer. I'm your host, Jeff. This lesson is for the absolute beginner, the absolute basics. I'll show you how to open a blank document in two different ways. I'll show you how to change text, specifically the font family, the font size, and the font color. And I'll show you how to change the alignment, so left justification, center, right justification. Finally, I'll show you some really basic cut, paste, redo, undo editing. So here we go. After opening Word, you're brought to this template pop-up menu. You can either select blank document and click create. We'll do that now. But there are two other ways that you can create a document. You can come to the top menu bar where it says File. Click that and then select New Document from the drop-down menu. And that creates a new document. Or if you want to go back to the template library, you go to top menu bar and then say New from Template. And then that takes you to your library of templates. Let's cancel that since we don't need that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is type the word father, capital F-A-T-H-E-R. So we'll use this word four different ways. So in order to do that, without typing father over and over again, we're going to click and drag to select the word. Then I'd like you to go up to the top menu bar again, and where it says edit, click that, and then I'd like you to come down and choose the word copy. And click out of that, and then hit the return carriage twice. Now, go back up to edit because we're going to paste it now. Edit, and then choose paste. And you see the carriage, the cursor goes one space below. Hit the return carriage again, creating another space. Go back and insert two more, paste two more fathers. One and two. Okay. Now, the next thing I'd like you to do is the next thing I'm going to show you is how to identify what font family you're on and how to change the fonts. We're going to the first one. Placing the cursor anywhere near that first word, you can find in the toolbar right here, it tells you what the font family name is. And this is Calibri Body. By clicking on the drop-down arrow, you see all the different fonts that I have in my computer library. You may have more, you may have different ones. This is where all the fonts begin, but here in this section is the most recent fonts that I have used. So since it was on Calibri right here, let's change it to something that looks very different, or Aurea. Excuse me, we have to select it first. Then we come up to Aurea, and we're giving option of regular and bold, but don't worry about that now. Aurea. Let's select the next one and make that a different font. You choose whichever one you'd like. I'm going to go choose with Bradley Hand. Then I'm going to select a third, and I'll choose a fourth. Let's say Algerian. That looks very different. And then I'll choose the fourth one. And let's see, Apple Chancery. Okay, now that I have four different fonts, let's change the font family size. Coming back up to the first one, Aurea, and notice right next to the family font name, you have the number, a number here. Also, I want you to notice that when I hover the cursor over a certain part of the toolbar, the word, a window pops up that describes what that window is. So here it says font size. I move over here, it says font. You see it disappeared, here it comes back again. Font. All right, so let's go back to the font size, and I can choose from the click on the drop-down menu, and I can choose a specific font size. I can go down to 8. Let's see, or I can come back up and make it very large. Let's say 24. Okay, so let's make. I'd like you to go ahead and change the second font size to 30. Sorry, let's say 28. And then we're going to make the third one 30. Now, when we click down the drop-down menu, we notice that 28 and then 36. There is no 30, but we want 30. So how do we do that? We just put our cursor right next to the number, and we click, and then the whole box is selected, and the numbers become shaded. So we can alter that now. Let's type 30, just using the number keys, 30, and then hit the return carriage, the enter carriage. You see it changes it a little bit larger than 28. And then let's do the last one, and let's say, let's make that one 18. Okay, so moving your cursor arrows, just using the up arrow in the bottom right portion of your keyboard, probably, you notice that when the cursor is here, Apple Chancery is, it changes here, and it says 18. Move it up to the next line, and it becomes Algerian and 30, etc. Now that I've shown you how to change the font family and how to change the font size, now let's change the alignment, or sometimes it's called justification. If we put our cursor here, we look in this part of this region of the toolbar, you see it, this area, it says align left. The information, the computer tells you, hey, this button means align left, and it's selected, so that means that is aligned left. Let's put our cursor here, and let's choose the center. Let's move this to the center. Rather than hitting the space bar, which is not recommended, and not using the tab key, which is not recommended, I'm just going to come up here and choose this button here. It says center text, and automatically it jumps there, and you know it's right in the middle. And if you have the ruler here, you can see it there, number 3, 3 inches. Let's move this father, the third father, let's move it all the way to the right, and we're going to align it to the right. All right, so that's how we can justify or align the text in different ways. Now let's change the font color. We're going to go back up to our top first font, first father again, and we're going to come up to this area of the toolbar. Now notice you have two A's. You have a blue A, you have something that looks like a pencil, and you have another capital letter A with a colored line beneath it. All right, that is the font color. That's how we change the color of the letters. We can, if I click on it, whatever that color is beneath the A, the letter, the words or the highlighted section will be made that same color. Let's say I want a different color, not red. I come up and I choose this drop-down menu. Notice the automatic is black. That's standard. You can choose from any of these at all, standard colors or theme colors. Let's say we can make it green, just so that you see how that works. And let's say that you want more colors than this. You can come down to more colors, and we can select this. Now here we have 5 regions, different types of colors, etc. In a future video, I'll show you how to I'll explore these other color palettes with you. But here, I want to show you this slide because mine is set automatically to black. You said there's no other colors there. But if we take this button here, this dial, and we slide it to the left, we make it lighter. And so by making it lighter, all these colors are revealed. Then we can choose this thing that looks like a target image, a target icon. We can click on it and then drag it anywhere inside this color wheel. Notice the color here is it represents the exact point in this color wheel where the target is. So let's choose something in the bluish family, and then we'll say OK. Now here you see it's still green because nothing was selected. But if we first select it and then choose that, it automatically changes. Let's say we want this father to be a different color, or we want it to be the same color. If this father is the same color, we want this father to be the same color as that father, and this is the same color there. All we have to do is click that button, and it automatically changes. And we can click and drag, selecting the other two fathers, and click that button as well, and all four fathers are now the same color. Let's say I want to change and I want the second father to be red. I can just come here from the template and choose a dark red. And let's say I want this father, the third father, to be, let's see, something else, something that I haven't chosen before. Let's choose something that looks a little bit more, let's see, more purple. Okay, I can choose that. I can even choose and change a single letter within a word just by highlighting that letter. I can either come up here and say, okay, well, this red is the same as that, so I can change that automatically just by clicking that button. Or if I put my cursor there and highlight that T, I can come here and I can make it a recent color. I can make it blue. Let's review. In this lesson, we learned two ways of opening a Word document, a blank Word document, from the top menu bar and from the templates menu. We also learned how to change the font family, the font size, and the font color. I also showed you how to change the alignment or the justification, so left, center, and right. And finally, I showed you some basic editing tools you can use. For example, they were cut, copy, paste, undo when you make a mistake, and redo when you realize what you thought was a mistake was not. Okay, so I hope this was a good lesson for you. If so, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, so that you don't miss a moment of how to smack Word like smog. There he is. I'm Jeff with Learning Microsoft Word with GreatTech Writer. See you soon.